Hello and welcome to today's Bold Trail Academy. Steve, how you doing?
Great. We're going to show you guys some cool stuff on open houses.
Yeah, so we've been talking about doing um, a series on doing open houses, and the backstory is that, as you all know, we're part of Brent Gove's organization, and back in the 2000s when Steve got into doing real estate, he connected with Brent. And they absolutely crushed it doing open houses. Steve, explain that experience a little bit.
Well, it's actually in the late 90s, and what we were doing is bright orange signs. We had some
Yeah,
really interesting types of flashy attention grabbing, and we just decided to do 20, 30, 40 signs. It was just an approach no one had used before.
yeah,
And man,
yeah,
we for a few years there, we would have 25 clients fill out applications to get pre-qualified right
yeah,
there at the open houses.
yeah,
But that just led us to learning best practices
yeah.
and sort of evolving those best practices. And now you guys are going to learn how to integrate some really great technology with those best practices.
And so the main point is Steve and Brent really built their real estate businesses, closing hundreds of transactions, billions of dollars in real estate, and they did it leveraging open houses. And so right now, if you're a new agent getting into the market, you're sitting back going, gosh, I really need clients. What Brent Gove and his organization, as well as New Vision, what they advocate is go out and do open houses. You know, if you have the time, do 3 a week. At the very minimum, do 2 a month. And so what we're going to do is show you how to leverage Bold Trail and the technology into maximizing the opportunity. So the way I look at it, when I do an open house, which I'm going to call myself out, I'm not doing one this weekend, but I should be. I should be. I have Saturday open right now, but anyway, I'll just call myself out. But if you're going to do an open house, we're going to show you the way that you can maximize that open house using technology. There's going to be minimums that you do, like the very bare bones. What do? You put your signs out, you have your flyer. That would be the very bare bones. You put it on MLS. So you know whoever's listing it is, you have it scheduled. That would be the very minimum. What we're doing is saying, look, you can do that, but let's take it a step further. So that's what we're going to cover today. Before we jump into it, I always like to go into the New Vision website and show you what's available. So since we're talking about open houses, I'm showing you right here that on the New Vision site, here's open house opportunities. So we're talking about open houses. If you don't have a listing yourself and you're looking for a house to hold open, they're scheduled right here, or they're listed right here. You can go in there, contact the agent and say, hey, I want to hold your house open. So these are available. The New Vision site, you and Gary have done just an amazing job with that site. And there's so many resources in there. If I hear any agent out there say, I don't get enough training at EXP, at New Vision, well, you just don't have your eyes open. Steve, what do you want to look at here real quick before we jump into our topic today?
Well, if everyone could just go over to agent attraction, and we've added in there the PowerPoint. So go ahead and click on the first link, EXP Explained US 2025. So in here, we've put in a slideshow. It's got 37 slides. It'll animate. So just play it through, and you can just have a great experience to show additional collateral of what EXP offers someone that you're trying to attract.
Yeah. So we're all here to build agent teams. My feeling is if you're going to build an agent team, you want to make sure you attract agents that are producing. And that's really what I focus on. But here's the model explained in this great presentation. And so I'm just highlighting it here this week. And it is part of the New Vision site. We'll put the link in the chat. Go check it out. Go spend some time going through there. There's so much information. So let's go ahead and get started on what we're covering today. And this is the ultimate open house. Now, Steve and I have been putting this together for a couple of weeks now. And originally I was going to come in and just show you this just in one session. And we've had to take a step back and say, you know what? We need to cover this over 4 weeks.
And I'll explain why, because it's like giving you a basketball and shoving it through a straw.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, there's a lot here because with the upgrades to the platform, there's just a lot more features available. And every single one of these features allows you to use the technology and the platform to generate leads. When you're doing an open house, Steve, question for you. When you've done an open house, how many times have you sold the open house, sold the property at the open house?
Well, it's actually happened a few times, but it's incredibly rare.
It's incredibly rare. It is. And so when you're there to do an open house, yes, you would like to sell the house, but the main focus, the main goal is to generate leads. That's your main goal. So if you're going through the effort to do an open house, when that person comes in, that group, whoever it is, when they come in, you want to be able to get their information. It goes back to permission marketing. We are all permission marketers. In today's litigious society, with all these laws that have been put forth to us, where cold calling, it's risky to do. Spam emailing, it's risky to do. You're in an environment in an open house where you're taking really 8 hours out of your day if it's done right. And your goal, your main goal and objective is to get people to opt in to give you permission to market to them. We are permission marketers. This is one of the best ways to do it. This is my dashboard, and you can see the activity I have going on within my KV core. I show you this to demonstrate to you that when you really dive in and really use this platform, it works for me. I have people looking at houses 4 hours ago. I have it set up so that my system is replying back to them 4 hours ago. I wasn't on my computer 4 hours ago, but the system was. And you can see I looked at today's featured property. I looked at it 25 minutes ago. It shows up in my platform. When Steve looks at property, it shows up in my platform. This is what you guys want. And when you do open houses and those leads get captured within the CRM, anytime they look at a house, it shows up in your activity log. Steve, when it shows up in your activity log, what does it cue you to do?
Well, you learn a few things. You learn what kind of properties they're looking for. They're going to be searching probably, a particular price range. So you could set up a search for that person. You could have additional communication that's more directed to what they really are looking for. And you also can just reach out to them and begin to dialogue about talking about real estate. Yeah.
We all need to talk to at least 5 people a day about real estate, at least bare bones minimum. That's what you have to do. So for me, Ben's going to get a call from me today. I got to see what Ben's looking at. I got Dave Brown. I got Ken. These are my phone calls today. I'm going to be reaching out to them, making that direct contact. Hey, what did you think of that house? And have that discussion. Now, because I have adopted KV Core to run my business, I know exactly who all these people are, and I'm already anticipating what that conversation is. So for me, first thing I do is I look at my dashboard to see what the activity is.
And just to build upon that, when you put someone in the Open House app and they look at a property, it's going to show up on this activity log. So when you put them into, whether you personally enter them into the app or you have a tablet and they do it for themselves, which is probably going to be less likely, you gather the information and put it in, then you can begin to see what they're looking at.
Yeah, and we're going to cover that in detail. The open house app through BoldTrail, as soon as that lead is entered in, whether you're entering the information in or they're entering it in with their tablet, once it's in the CRM and you have the smart campaign turned on for open house, they're going to get an email from you. I'm sorry, a text from you within 4 hours saying, thanks for coming into the open house. And we're going to show you what that looks like. We're going to show you how that works. We're going to show you how to customize it. The main point to all of this is that we're getting people to opt in, and then we're leveraging the system to follow up on that. So go ahead.
What we're going to do today is an overview of a 4-part series. So just bear with us. We're going to throw a lot at you. Like I said, shoving a basketball down a straw.
Yeah.
So just hold on tight, and we're gonna go through some of those steps of the 4-part series, and hopefully it's something that inspires you to come back.
Yeah, so we had Wendy Goss come in and speak to us. Wendy Goss is an agent in Las Vegas, and she's jumped in and she's doing luxury listings, and she's absolutely killing it. Steve and I, we had a debrief after that, and we're like, wow, we have all these tools right here. We just need to leverage into them better. And one of them that I'm covering, so I'm featuring this property on Fenway Circle. It is Gary Meek's listing. It's listed at 925. Within KV Core, you can make your own custom landing page. So when you get a listing, you need to build this landing page. And the reason why is because it highlights your property. I took all this information directly from Gary's MLS listing details. If there's an open house, you can throw it in there. I'm not sure if there is an open house this weekend. I just put it in there. You put the bedroom bath details in, beautiful picture of the interior. There's Gary, I put his information in. Gives you a map of the property, but right down here, inquire about this property. Now you can capture leads with it. This is now a lead capture page. Steve, you could take this page now and you could post it on your personal website.
Yep.
You can take and put it on all of your socials. You can take and with Chrome, you can get the extension, and just right there, you created a QR code. Guys, if you don't have the QR code generator extension on Chrome, go get it. Just Google it. You can make a QR code out of any URL address. But now you could take this and text it to people. You could put this on your open house sign. We use Larry at Paradise Signs up in Newcastle, and he's doing custom sign writers. We had, was it Kim Cottrell, I think it was, came in, and she's doing the sign writers on all of her listings. It's not the main panel. It's just she has a writer at the bottom with the QR code on it. And so we're going to show you how to make this custom lead generation landing page using the platform. And I think that everybody, every listing out there that you have should have this lead capture landing page. One thing Steve taught me to do really early on is that when you put your open house flyer together, you have the property details on one side, and on the back side, you have other area listings. Okay. This has been a static page. And Steve, your approach was, hey, if you like any of these properties, we can go look them up on my computer, and you draw them in, you have that conversation. It's a great way to build rapport. Well, now you can create a squeeze page with those listings in it. And now you can take this squeeze page, you can generate the QR code, and you can put that on your flyer. So now when they leave the property and they're in their car driving around and they see the one listing they want to look at, now they can scan the QR code, and it's right here on your squeeze page that you created for that property.
And after a few visits, they can then register.
That's right.
So it just gives you one more way to give someone something that's an item of value at an open house as something collateral. So one, you want to try to connect with them, and there's all these best practices, which I'll be creating a video showing you guys. There's several already posted on our site of doing the proper open house. But once you learn to break the ice, you use these different bits of collateral to bring them closer to you so that maybe they'll start being willing to give you a phone number, an email, and saying, yeah, I'd like to actually dialogue with you. This means that when they leave, they have something additional that you're able to draw them back in, even though you're not there in person with them. It's just using the additional technology to advance the open house process.
Yeah. So now with that live QR code, this page is evergreen, which they'll have it maybe as they're driving down the road. Maybe they take it into their house. They set it on the kitchen counter. Maybe they put it on the refrigerator. Well, now your QR code is there, and they scan it. I have it set up so that they look at 5 properties, and then after 5 properties, they're forced to register. You can set it so that they never have to register. You could set it so they have to register from the very first look at a property. The point is that instead of having a static piece of paper with listings on it with a phone number at the bottom, we're in a age of society today where we're all accustomed to using QR codes, and we can use them throughout this entire platform. Again, these listings are in Rockland, and they are directly similar to this listing on Fenway. They're similar in square footage, they're in Rockland, and you can get more custom. And I'm going to show you how to do all of this to create that open house flyer. And again, this is all possible through the IDX integration. And that allows this information to come in from the MLS into our CRM platform so that we can create these. So we're going to show you exactly how to do that. One of the biggest upgrades is this design center. So you get into the design center and you can take and go into flyers and you can put in and find the listing. So we could choose any one of these. Actually, let's go back and choose the Fenway. It is 3859. 3859. Fenway, it finds it. So it just found it. And now what the design center is doing is it's pulling in all of the information through the IDX feed into the flyer. So then you can go in and you can choose the flyer. And now it's creating all of this. You can choose any one of them. Now it's getting started. And right there, it's generating the flyer for you. So part of what we advocate when you do an open house is you're going to go canvass the neighborhood. Steve, what's the minimum on canvassing? What's the maximum on canvassing?
Probably 50 would be your minimum, and I would think 100 would be a really good number of invites around a particular open house.
With this platform now, you can go in there depending on what your canvassing is. If you want to do door hangers, if you want to do flyers, if you want to do a two-page flyer, whatever it is, you have all those options available, and it's all done for you. You don't have to sit there and send it out to a VA, have your assistant do it, whatever it is. You could do it right here within the platform. So really cool feature. You see the photos aren't coming up because we're having a little bit of an issue with the IDX feed. And I'm doing this to show you that it's not perfect. We have issues with this, and because we've switched over from KV Core to BoldTrail, we are running into some issues. But here's another example of how this branding works. All the information is pulled over. You don't have to sit there and worry about the design of it. So we're going to go over that in the marketing. When we're doing an open house, the biggest thing is exposure. And so what I'm going to go over is how to put this onto the different platforms that are out there. So when I get into, let's go back to listings. And we're going to go into all the listings. So these are all the listings on MLS. And we're going to go in and we're going to take a look at the Fenway. So we'll just go in and search the 3859. And it finds it. And so we're going to get in and show you that if you want to go and put this onto Facebook, I showed you guys this last week, because we have all these integrations set up, right there, it's ready to go and post on Facebook. You need to go in and figure out something to say that has a good hook so that people are going to want to interact with it. I'm not going to post it right now because I haven't really fully thought this out. But part of what I do is once a week, I feature one of the new listings that either I have or the agency has, because you want to go out there to show that you're an active agent And you're constantly posting real estate content along with all of your other content. And so you can do that directly through the platform. Now, if I wanted to take and put this onto Craigslist, you have to have it set up. And I'm going to reuse this data. And just like that, it's posting on Craigslist. And then you would publish it. You have to have the you have to have it set up with the right extension. So you have to have this KV Core extension already in your Google Chrome in order for that to work. I'm going to get into detail on that. The main point is that you want to get out there and post your listing, your open house, on all of your social channels, because it's going to get a maximum exposure, and it also will tell your client base, your sphere, that you're an active real estate agent. So we're going to get in and show you all of that. The day of the open house is probably the most important, and we're going to talk in detail about that. Signs. Steve, signs are so important. Rich Hendrickson he's an agent here now in our office. He was a lender. What was the name of his shop?
Cherry Creek.
Cherry Creek. I remember when I started doing open houses, Rich with Cherry Creek, he would assign us these bright yellow signs with black letters that had a special number where you could text. And he even had a service where you would pay him $100 and they would go and set up all the signs for you. So the night before, they would set up all the signs. And then as you're driving to your open house, you would see that all your signs are set up. It's not a matter of just having signs. You have to have the right amount of signs. And you really need to go in and you need to map it out. Steve, talk about how you map out the signs.
Well, you want to pick all the busy. I like to have two corridors. Like, for example, if you're off of Sunrise, there might be another major street that feeds into that. So I try to get two major corridors driving traffic into my open house. Yeah. And really, it's kind of that fruit stand analogy. Yeah. When you're driving up maybe Highway 99, and you see a sign that says bright, quarter-mile more, red, beautiful strawberries, turn right now, right? Yeah. And you kind of have this process. So I like to do at least 3 panels as you're entering a major intersection, and it might start as far as a half a mile back.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to give people a chance to see the sign, but then as they see repetitive signs, it creates a little bit of energy, like curiosity.
Mm-hmm. It creates excitement over it.
Yeah, so if you're just doing one turn sign, you're going to miss most of your traffic because they're going to see it, they're going to think about it, and they don't want to turn back around.
And so within this conversation, we're going to get in and we're going to look at listings out there that are high value targets for open houses. I had an agent a couple weeks ago come up to me and say, Alex, I held a house open in Alberta and the property boost didn't really bring any people in, and I didn't pick up any leads from it. And the day of the open house, I didn't really have any visitors. And I looked at him, I said, okay, you're holding a home in rural Alberta that's listed at $1 million. And you think you're going to get 15 leads off of a property boost and then have a ton of traffic come in. I said, I'm sorry, but not a lot of people are interested in that type of property. And that's really what we're going to talk about. Not only the property that you're boosting, holding open, but also the location of that property. So I don't have a whole lot of specific content for you guys today. I thought it was important as we were putting this together that we just do an overview of what we're going to cover. So use this as a roadmap. And then next week, we're going to come back and we're just going to look at that setting up of the landing page and the initial tech setup for the property so that you can get out there and get it maximum exposure.
Yeah, so basically what he's telling you guys, we're going to help you with a custom landing page and helping you build the actual flyers with the QR codes and the collateral that you're going to need so that you're prepared. Part of these next steps are going to be how to pick the right open house. We obviously going to say how to properly set up the open house. There's going to be some great collateral we're going to create that shows you the best practices to convert someone at open house. But we're just going to dial this back and show you guys how to get some of the technology pieces done correctly in the beginning.
Yeah, we're going to go over this. It's in the web and IDX feature. And
I like the fact that we've got Ocean View and Rockland.
it's funny you say that, because I was preparing for this and I tried everything to change this image. Oh, there it is right there. I can change the image right there. So I can go in there and I can change.
See, we're learning on the fly, guys.
That's right. There it is.
There you go.
Now you can look at the gallery.
At least you got a little technology tip today.
Yeah, you know what it was? I kept clicking in the boxes. I'm like, there's got to be a way to change that. But now it says Roseville on it. Even though it's a Rockland listings, we'll change that.
Yeah,
but a lot of the way I've learned how to use this platform is just going in and using it, making mistakes, and having Steve call me out live on my Zoom. But you know, that's how you learn this stuff. And I appreciate you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, all right, good. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today. Not a whole lot of content, but it was good. We felt just to have the overview. So as we move forward, I want to point out the school platform. All of these Friday sessions are on the school platform. We just wrapped up the 2025 upgrades. That's on the school platform. We started off the year with the 12-week lead generation series, and some of these videos are approaching 1,000 views, which really that's really edifying for me to see that. So go in there and take a look at this. We try to limit these sessions to 30 minutes. That way we all have ADHD. I realize that. I don't want to keep these things too long. If you need help with your BoldTrail, I'm doing a lot of initial evaluations. I have agents out there that are using BoldTrail and they're just not sure. They're not sure if they're really set up. By all means, I'll do an initial evaluation and just point you in the right direction. If you're new to EXP and you're overwhelmed by setting it up, I have a service where I go in and do a complete setup. And then if you're set up and ready to go and need to get into using the platform, I do offer a 21 days to build the habit, where you sit with 6 other agents on Zoom with me every day for 21 days straight, build the habit. And when you run into blocks using the platform, I'm there to address them. So by all means, reach out to me. Like I say, I'm here on the school platform. On the workplace at EXP, I put this up a couple weeks ago. I'm up to 50 members. That's kind of cool. I'm also on Facebook, so plenty of ways to find me. So that's what I have today. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we're going to come back and take questions.